What's going on? I'm Alante, and today we are going to be doing some tutorials on Deviant Factions so you guys can learn how to play the game. So when you do buy your booster card decks after you're done finished up trying the tutorials and you want to actually play person to person, you will actually have some knowledge and some strategy. So let's get into it. So first you want to press game info, go down to tutorials, and then get the basics. And they have 4 different versions. So the first one is just the basics, the one-on-one. Initiated during the game. This is the start screen of a game of Deviant Factions. Initiative, these are the avatars of both players. Yours will always show up on the left. The avatars of both players are used to build the initiative coin. So if we weren't both the zombie, then when it flips, you would actually see whose turn it is. This is the initiative coin. Before the match, the game will toss it to determine who has the initiative during the first turn. Welcome to the board. This is the game board. The bottom half contains to your in-game elements. Your opponent's elements are in the upper half of the screen. Here you can see the avatar and nickname of each player. Up top, Judge, and at the bottom, my name, Dark Da Vinci. You can click your opponent's avatar to see more information about them. These devices contain the decks of each player. In Deviants Factions, each player uses a deck of cards of 8 to face their opponent. The number on the deck indicates how many cards it has left. These are headquarters, HQ. A game of Deviant Factions represents the struggle between groups of people occupying opposing HQs. Click on your HQ to get a closer look. Kutuzov Hold. This is a HQ card. To defeat your opponent, you must destroy the HQ. The goal. This is your HQ's faction, right here. You can have cards from different factions in your deck. Deviants do not let ideological differences prevent them from working together. This is your HQ's name. This icon means that the card you're looking at is an HQ card. There's a symbol for each type of card. Characters, HQ, technology. This is the text box. In this place you can find the abilities that make your HQ special. This is your HQ structure points. Whenever a HQ receives damage, its structure points drop. To win a Deviants Factions match, you must get the opposing HQ structure down to 0. Okay, starting hand. You start the game with 3 cards in your hand. If you want, you have a chance to ask for another hand to be dealt to you. You can only do this once. So, I'm a little iffy on it, but I will take it. They work well together, Valencia and Elena Davry. You have to play a little bit to get to know that. So I would choose to keep it. If you click the redraw button, the proposed hand is shuffled into your deck and you are dealt a new 3-card hand that you have to keep. If you like the initial hand proposed by the game, press the keep button to keep it. This time, that's what you are going to do. Click the keep button to keep this hand and start the game. Okay, so development step. In Deviants Factions, both players go through each game turn together. A turn is divided into 4 steps. To find out which step you are in, look at the step display in the lower right corner of the screen. The first turn starts with the development step, which is when you play a card from your hand. Each player may put a card down from their hand into play, starting with the holder of the initiative coin. Right now, that's you. Remember that you can always see which side of the board has the initiative coin, or right here. To play a card, you must drag it from your hand into the board. No matter where you drop it, it will find its place. Drag the card Alina Diary out of your hand. The board has 4 rows, each composed of slots ready to receive cards after they are played. The rows facing each other in the center are for the exclusive use of characters. The row next to your HQ is for your characters, and the row next to your opponent's HQ is for your opponent's characters. Whenever a card comes into play, it goes to its respective row and occupies the first available slot from left to right. So there. You can click on any card on the table to see it in detail. Click on your character. Alina Diary. This is a character card. Characters are deviants or undeviants, which are shown here, who unite under the roof of the same HQ to defeat a common enemy. In the upper left corner of a character, you can see the faction it belongs to. There are undeviant characters that do not have any symbol in this place. That is because they are undeviant and do not belong to any particular faction. Characters have names. You can't include 2 characters with the same name in your deck. Also, characters have gender, which you can find right before their name. Female, male, or non-binary. This is the card type. It symbolizes this card as a character with the human hand. This is the character's attack, ATK, abbreviation. It's the amount of damage they deal when fighting. They can damage opposing characters or the opposing HQ. This is the character's HP. It determines how much damage they can take before dying. This icon represents the attack type of the character. We will see how the attack works later on. This is the character's planning. As long as a character has 1 or more planning points, they can neither attack nor use their abilities. This is the general planning. Characters enter the game with as much planning as their natural planning plus that turns general planning. That is why Alina Diary has planning 3, even though she doesn't have planning of her own. Because it's the beginning of the game, the start. This is the character's text box. It lists the abilities your character has. We have already reviewed the components of a character. If you want to exit a card's full display, just click outside of it. Click on the board to close the card viewer. Okay, let's see where we're going next. The opponent has played their card, Khaldun. Quiet turns. After the death step comes the fight step. In this step, characters fight each other. During the first 3 turns, characters have planning and are unable to attack. That's that first 3 general planning. Planning reduction. Finally, we have the end step. In this step, the characters reduce their planning by 1. General planning reduction. Then general planning is also reduced by 1. The change of initiative. The initiative coin changes from one player to the other and a new turn begins. And now it's the draw step. From turn 2 onwards, turns begin with the draw step. In this step, each player draws a card from the top of their deck. So now we have, and it fulfills our hand back to 3, and keeping it consistently that way until it goes all the way out. Play your Florencia Wolf. This time your opponent played first since they have the initiative coin. It's a good time to answer by playing Florencia Wolf. Play Florencia Wolf to continue the tutorial. Play your Vol. Again, you have the initiative. Play Vol to continue with the tutorial. We're gonna play Vol. Fight set. Take notice of the direction and the number of the direction within the attack. Technologies. This time the opponent played a card and it went to a different lane. This is because it was a technology card. The outer lanes are meant for technologies. When played, they occupy the first available slots from left to right. Technology. Click on the technologies played by your opponent so we can see it in detail. Lucky Bento Box. This is a technology card. Technologies are used to improve your characters or to annoy your opponent's characters. Like characters, technologies may or may not have a faction. A character that has a technology behind can use it as long as it is not from a different faction. I'm gonna read that again because that's important. A character that has a technology behind can use it as long as it's not from a different faction. Technologies have a name, and you can't have more than one technology with the same name in your deck, just like the character card. This icon symbolizes that it is a technology card. A technologies text box lists the benefits that a character gets for carrying a certain technology. This is the resistance. It shows how many hits a technology can take before it's destroyed. Player Sredo Petrovic. Probably messed that name up. Combats. Now we review how fighting works and how attack types interact with it. During the fight step, there's one fight for each column. They are resolved from left to right, so the first characters to attack are in slot 1. Both characters in slot 1 have basic attack types, so they attack their respective Both characters in slot 1 have basic attack types, so they attack their respective rival in front of them. It's on and popping. Characters in slot 2 have ranged attack types. Elbaz attacks to the right with a range of 2. This means that when it's his turn to fight, he deals damage to Sredo Petrovic. It's 1, 2. You don't start here. Well, I guess you can start here if you count from over here. So you go 1, 2. Florencia Wolf attacks to the left instead. She also has a range of 2, but there is no one in 2 slots away to the left. When this happens, the range is corrected downwards. So instead of going 1, 2, it just goes 1, 2. By correcting this reach, Florencia Wolf now aims to Khaldun. Let's see what happens. 55, damn, it's 56. Characters in the third position have Blast, attack type. Lieutenant Kramerman Blast attack type aims to the left with a range of 2. This means that whenever she attacks, she deals damage to her rival and characters within a distance of 2 slots to the left. That's tough. She will attack Elena, Davri, Florencia Wolf, and Volet. Volet, on the other hand, has Blast to the right with a range of 2. In this case, they will only attack their rival. That Blast is sort of highlighted. Sredo Petrovic has basic attack type, but has no rival. Whenever a character is going to attack and there is no one to receive the attack hits the opposing HQ. This concludes part 1 of our tutorial. Keep playing and remember that you can always right-click on a card to see it in detail. Go to the tutorial section at our webpage to learn more about the game.